Welcome back to the Night Shift podcast, and this is
It's
Unsounder.
that time already? Jesus.
Yeah, and we're actually a day late once again.
Yeah,
It's partially my
sounds good.
fault. It's partially my fault though. I was over at my girlfriend's at the other day, and I forgot to bring my recording stuff. But yeah. So
It's fine. It still gets uploaded.
that's true. But yeah. So like always, I am here with Futuristic Satire.
What it do?
And we are here to discuss some stuff.
And we actually have a list this time, and I actually checked it. It's all different things, unlike last week when it turns out we only had like 5.
Yeah, instead of like the 7 because the weird
Yeah.
stuff reasons. Yeah.
You and I, we actually got back into a new game today and started a new game, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's like the poor man's CS:GO, and it's really
oh my god,
fucking
it's
fun.
block posts on Steam. It's a free game. It's like that Minecraft style, like blocks and like all squares, but it's also CS:GO, which
Yeah.
makes it really fun. It's got like the whole crate and key system, the leveling system up like your class kind of.
Like if your computer cannot run CS:GO, which if it's really really old, then obviously that's understandable. But it's poor man's CS:GO.
No, my computer is trash. I can't even run Fortnite on it, and I can run this game. So
At damn near 100 frames.
yeah, no, I was hitting 100 frames. It was great.
And so that's probably the smoothest gameplay other than Escapist, I think.
Pretty much. That's also because the Escapist doesn't require too much. So,
Yeah,
but
true.
still, for an online shooter game, it is great.
Playing in Russia servers.
Yeah, it is a Russian-Ukrainian game, so most of its servers are Russian and Ukrainian side. But so that's where you're gonna find most of your games. But there's no difference. It's fun. You go in, shoot people, level up, get crates, get keys for leveling up. It's fun.
Yeah, I enjoy the game.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Also today we did like a 4-hour Fortnite session, surprisingly, just out of the blue.
Yeah, I'm still off on Fortnite.
Yeah.
Like it's not my preferred game. I've already
It was just fun to play it with people,
Yeah.
and like the grind with the challenges, because so essentially this is kind of why we did it there is right now, because of the state of battle royales now, Anthem's taking the genre by storm essentially. Fortnite,
Anthem's not a battle royale.
not Anthem, Apex, the other
There
A, the other A game that just came out.
Yeah, bite
Yeah. Also a money grabber, go figure.
you.
I was right on one part, both are by money grabbing companies,
Yeah.
believe it or not. But no, so because of that, Fortnite, they released these, what are they, like overtime challenges
Yeah.
that you can, if you do 13 out of like 16, I think there are, you can get a free battle pass for the next season. You can get a free season 8 battle pass. And so we aren't going to be playing too often. I highly doubt there's going to be any videos of that. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, if like something cool happens.
At
But
most, I'll probably live stream.
yeah, he might do a live stream, and I might be co-starring or whatever. So that'd be kind of cool. But no, so we spent solid 4 hours today, just grinding out all those challenges.
Yeah, and it was a nice like somewhat of a palette cleanser.
Yeah, because it's been a while since we played such a brightly colored game.
Yeah, like obviously Anthem I fucking love.
Oh my god, don't get me started on Anthem.
But like the colors on that are pretty bright to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And colorful at least. Like there's a ton of color in that game, but it's not
Yeah.
like bright like Fortnite is. Fortnite has like some freaking crazy filter on it that makes it just bright as shit.
Yeah, it's like candy filter essentially.
Yeah. And here and there it's nice to see. Obviously you can do that with texture packs or whatnot on freaking Minecraft and all that, but that's Minecraft. After a while, same shit gets over and over.
Gets tired of playing with blocks all day.
Yeah.
Which we're waiting for the 1.14 update. But back to the whole Fortnite thing. Remember battle royales last year? We were waiting on Blackout and
Yeah, that Blackout's alright. It's
And
not
then
the
there was
best
also
of
PUBG
stuff.
was being released. I don't think PUBG was actually out yet this time last year.
I don't think it was officially out, but it was
No.
out.
Yeah, and then Fortnite was getting on its grind, becoming big. Battle Royales have come a long way. There was, what was that one? Fuck. There was another one. It was like way brighter than Fortnite was. It was like fun disco.
Oh, the one that looks like it was in the 70s.
Yeah,
Fuck.
you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, it got shut down.
Fuck. That one looked kind of cool. That one looked promising.
Like
I'll give
that
it that.
entire project got shut down. It's not even on Steam anymore, I don't think.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's
no,
kind of sad.
I know that game. Actually, I'm gonna look up Steam, see if it's even there.
I don't even remember what it was called.
Neither do I.
Yeah. But no, it was nice, just kind of sit back. You and I, we just played some Fortnite, had a good time, had a couple funny moments, got to have fun. It was nice, it's not something we actually like sit down and do too often. Like we play Minecraft, but that can only do so much. Same thing with Terraria.
Yeah.
But it's like Fortnite, we were actually be able to work together, team it up, be like, okay, make plans. We did pretty good.
Yeah, and there was. I have to admit, even though I'm not hooked. I don't think ever I will be.
Yeah.
I kind of burnt Fortnite out for myself. Kind of how I did with Halo, but I still have like a soft spot. I'll always tend to go back to Halo. But it is fun to go back and try it. I'm not pissed off anymore about the game. I just don't have the drive to want to play it anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's kind of why I'm like here and there I'll play it, but it's not
You're
something
like, it's cool, but at the end of the day, we've played so much and the game is can only do so much with it.
Yeah, and there's no way to actually see how many hours you've put into it, but I easily,
you've put hundreds.
Gambit, yeah, we've easily put hundreds of hours into that game.
Yeah.
If not almost. No, not almost 1,000, but damn near above 500.
Yeah. Easily. And today when we were trying to set up so that way I could play, I spent about an hour trying to fix.
Yeah. No. So, Futures of Satire over here, the master of breaking the internet with like 3 or 4 different Gmails on one actual account.
So, okay, what happened was back when there was still like a whole lot of like the Twitch Prime free skins that were coming out for Fortnite. What was happening? I was trying to get one of the Twitch Prime exclusive skins, and I had like a free Twitch Prime trial. So I tried setting up the Epic's game account, connecting the Twitch, and I just wasn't able to do it. And it was just kind of broken for me, and I just kind of gave up. And this was maybe 5-6 months ago. So then today we went to try and set it up and link my accounts that way I could play on his PS4. So we were trying to hook up my like Xbox One account because I used to play Xbox One. So we were trying to hook up my one account to his PS4 so that way I could just play there since cross-platform can play on anything. I spent about an hour trying to fix something because I used an email that wasn't actually an email when I first set it up. So there was a floating email, like it wasn't actually attached to anything, nothing was getting sent to it because it didn't exist, but the account was attached to it. And because it didn't exist, I even tried creating the email like letter and number for number, and it just would not let me. It wouldn't actually send it to that email, even though it was the exact same thing. So I broke Epic's Games.
I don't think you broke Epic Games. I think you just broke Google.
I broke Google. It didn't understand.
Yeah.
It was lost. But then it was sending me like the help emails though.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
So it was really strange. But then eventually, through some magic, it kind of tweaked itself, so I was able to like at least get the Xbox One stuff.
Yeah.
On the PS4, so I kind of gave up trying.
Because back in the day, he already explained this, but he had essentially 2 emails with 2 different accounts on Fortnite. One was strictly only a Twitch Prime skin, and the other one was where he played like when we spammed out the game. He has all his skins and stuff. We were trying to merge those 2, but it just wouldn't merge.
So I wanted one single skin. That was it. It was it. Epic Games. The fuck.
But yeah, so it didn't
keep friendly content. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
It didn't really work out. So all we got back was the normal amount of skins, but at least he
I
has the
was
skins
fine with
back.
that. I have my skins back. I'm fine.
Yeah. His,
I have the
40
complete
bucks
John
worth
Wick
of
skins,
skins.
so I don't want to hear it.
His 40
Oh,
bucks worth of
easily.
skins and like
Easily plus battle pass skins that I've
3
bought.
battle passes.
Yeah, so yay. That and my actual own version of Save the World is connected to that account, so
Yeah, that is actually a good idea that you actually got that through, because you'd have to pay for Save the World again.
I didn't feel like it. Nope, not having it.
But yeah, no, you're all set for for Save the
Yeah,
World.
so now I can play Fortnite again, so that's fun.
Yep. Just don't forget your shit and don't fuck with anything.
Oh, I'll figure it out eventually, even if I do.
Jesus.
Oh my
Alright,
god.
well,
Switching on to other Battle Royale related news. Apex Legends. They're doing tweaking right now on hitboxes, and specifically for one main character.
the Pathfinder?
The Pathfinder, yeah. Because people were noticing his hitbox is ridiculously large compared to the other hitboxes. Like, apparently you could shoot a real world 4 inches in front of him and it would still hit him.
Huh.
Yeah, and for a battle royale game,
yeah,
you kind of can't have a character whose hitbox is ridiculously large.
Yeah, you kind of need.
It breaks the game.
Well, no, not even just for battle royale, for like Call of Duty type games.
In general, you have to have good functioning hitboxes.
Yeah, unless you just want to say fuck the game and leave it. But this
Pretty
is by
much.
EA companies, and yes, they are somewhat of a shitty company now because of the way they handle things. But overall, they do make
business choices. Fallout 76, is that you knocking at my door?
but they do.
I'm not wrong.
Okay, but EA, even though everyone hates them, bags on them, I don't quite like them, but I do like their side branches, like BioWare and Respawn and all that.
I like everything but the main company.
Yeah, the games are good. It's just they fuck up with the microtransactions or the certain ways that they mess with.
They always do. They always do.
And personally, that's kind of what ruins the games for a lot of people.
Microtransactions in general tend to ruin games for people.
Yeah, Fortnite did it alright.
They did it good because theirs never had anything to do with actual gameplay. You could, no matter what, you could play the game just as well as anyone else. And in some considerations, like when the pets came out, you could play better than those who bought it because it became known that pets made noise. So if you were trying to be quiet and trying to be stealthy, the pet could make noise.
Yeah, that's one somewhat game-changing thing. But also back in the day of season 3 or season 2, when the Red Knight came through,
yeah,
the shield problem where everyone was speculating that the shield actually made you have more defense.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, that was all just
strictly cosmetic.
Cosmetic.
Strictly cosmetic. And that's how you have to do it. If you're going to do anything in games where you can buy stuff for the game, it needs to be cosmetic. Like Destiny 2 with their the Eververse, I think it's called. I haven't played Destiny in forever, so correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
Yeah. They've got like emotes, and they've got weapon ornaments, and they've got cool skins, and they've got cosmetic engrams, things like that, where it's not messing with your actual gameplay. It just looks really fucking cool.
Yeah,
and that's cool, you know? I'm glad they can do things like that.
And this is kind of like an off-the-brand thing, but Rainbow Six Siege, they've been doing this for a long-ass time, and they're going fucking on fire with these skins that they're putting on these guns.
Rainbow Six is always going to be really big until the next
Rainbow
game comes out.
And I don't think they're actually going to be making one, so I have a feeling Rainbow Six is going to be this final one that they're just going to hold on for years.
I think so. I obviously feel like they can do that. It has that like CS:GO replayability to it, where they just as long as they just keep updating it, keep making it better, add more maps, add more operators, you know, keep doing that type of thing.
The thing is with the operators though, there's already almost 40 fucking operators. Yeah,
easily. But that just adds on to its replayability because you can always play someone different. You can always play someone new. You can try something different, you know. Throw in little challenges for yourself, things like that. And while yes, most of the operators are blocked behind paywalls, sure, you could consider that pay to win, but at the same time, if you play enough, you can get the in-game currency to unlock those. So,
or you can like buy the character itself, so it's a pay to win, or do what 80% of the people do with the game: buy the season pass, and you would just get all the maps, all the characters.
Well, because they already get the maps, it's just the skins that they want.
Yeah, everyone gets the maps.
You want the skins and the characters and the new operators.
And that's the quote-unquote pay to win, but 80% of the community does that anyways, so that's not really the pay to win thing. It's all skill based.
Yeah, it really is, and it's like there are some operators where you can start out from scratch, and you would still be playing with those until, say, if this game keeps lasting that long, an extra 2 years down the line, you'll still be playing with that operator because you won't feel the need to buy another one, because you'll just be so confident with how this operator works and how this guy runs that you won't feel like, okay, well, I need someone else to be better.
Yeah.
All of them are balanced in their own sense.
And also, if you're playing the game for like religiously, like some people do, for 2 years straight, you'll be able to buy every single thing within in-game currency. So
pretty much.
Rainbow Six Siege, Fortnite, and some other BRs or just games in general with the microtransactions, they got it on point.
Yeah, they're doing it right.
Yeah,
and
but
that's what I like.
Call of Duty, Battlefield,
so
some of these other games, Fallout.
Okay, so I'll touch back on that Call of Duty thing in a second, but since we're on the topic of Rainbow, I do want to touch base on this a little bit and get your opinion. So Rainbow Six, because their newest season is coming up, they teased a new operator, and it's presumed that it's going to be going under its attack, like one of their attack operators. It's a Danish operator, so this one's coming from Denmark. Yeah. And apparently the two things that it's supposedly bringing are a proximity alarm gadget and a like his overall ability is going to be something to do with like stealth, blending in, maybe some sort of camo. Yeah, because this is all going off of speculations pulled from the trailer and little like pictures and stuff that are being found, you know, how it always is. And so they believe he's going to be an attack operator just because of the design. There were like little drawings on the wall, you know how it's like, oh, planning board based off this character, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Something about a proximity alarm showing up with the rest of the gadgets, and because there's no such thing as a proximity alarm, they're thinking, okay, it's getting added with him.
That would actually be kind of cool, though. It'd be like a mix of Thermite, not Thermite, the dude with the sensor.
Jesus fuck.
No, the dude with the sensor, the heartbeat sensor? What's his name?
Yeah. Pulse.
Pulse, yeah. It's like a mix of Pulse and the Chinese dude with the little RC helicopter.
Yeah. Like, the way I think it's going to work. I think it's going to be similar to like a bouncing Betty, not in the sense that it blows up and explodes, but something you place somewhere, and then like you kind of have an idea of where it is, and then when someone goes by it, it pings, so you know, oh hey look, someone's right there, you know.
And then you'd also be able to see it through walls or something.
Yeah, like how you know how with cameras they can ping someone for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this thing it'll have like an area of effect similar to like the jamming for mute. You know how it has an area of effect of what's jammed and what's not.
Yeah.
Something similar to that, but it's an area of ping. So if someone's in that area, they're being pinged, but they don't know it. You know, something like that.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool, though. I don't know. That would be interesting to see how it works.
Yeah, but no. So Danish operator. That'll be interesting.
What weapons do you think they'll add in? Because it seems like they're adding area-specific weapons to each character.
Yeah. So I'm guessing no matter what, his weapons are going to be suppressed, like built-in suppressors.
Oh yeah, big time.
He's stealth-based.
Either built-in or it's going to be like the, hey, recommend suppressor or some shit.
Yeah. I also feel like he's going to be lighter firearms as well. I don't think he's going to be shotguns and assault rifles. I'm guessing he's probably going to be
a UMP or an MP5.
Yeah, SMGs and handguns, I think is going to be his thing.
I hope he has a Glock.
See,
that's an American thing, I know.
Not only that, the Glock is a really loud weapon.
Yeah.
It is one of the loudest handguns commercially available.
Almost all guns are pretty fucking loud, though, so...
Yeah, but the Glock there's like handguns, military service weapons, Glock. It's one of those really loud ones, just because it's really strong as well. It's meant to be sturdy. It's meant to be reliable. It's meant to take some abuse.
Yeah.
So they don't care if it's loud. They just care if it gets the job done. The Glock, everyone.
But yeah, so like we were talking about earlier, Black Ops.
Black Ops loot crates specifically.
Yeah, they're fucking up.
You and I, see, you and I have actually contrasting opinions on this one.
Yeah, so I think they're fucked up and they really shouldn't do it because they're okay, so with Black Ops in general, so Call of Duty, you're spending $60 on the base game. No DLCs, nothing else. You can spend up to $120 or $130 to get the like deluxe edition, or if you get the physical,
and then that's your choice. You can choose to spend the extra money to get all the cool little collectibles and stuff that they designed and that they had made. Okay. So, okay, back to what you were saying.
Okay, so you can get that in physical if you want, or in digital, it'll be basically everything else, but you won't get like the big old mystery box like you did with Black Ops 4. And
also, that was really cool, by the way. I loved seeing those videos go around. That's one thing I think we can both agree upon. That had some pretty cool stuff in it.
Yeah. But like you would get like more cosmetic stuff or something if you got it all digital.
Yeah.
But if you're spending, let's say, $130, $140 on a
game.
Okay,
well, no. To be fair, for the game you have to spend $60 to get the game. Everything else is extra, so it's not their fault if you're spending $140 because you want all the extra stuff.
Okay, so we'll go off of the base
60.
Game. So yeah, 60. You're spending $60 on the game. Then you're spending $50 on the season pass in order to get any DLC whatsoever, because you can't buy them in like singularity things, single spots. Like all the past CODs for the past 7-8 years, probably more. Oh, definitely more.
COD's been around for a minute.
But for like
makes
DLC
you and I look young.
Yeah, but for like DLC wise, from like 2008 or some shit. But so you're spending $60 plus the 50, so you're already getting.
Once again, you don't have to get the season pass. That one I'll give you because most people will get the season pass just to get DLC, zombie maps, etc.
$110 on its own.
Okay.
That's not. So $110 if you want at least the quote-unquote full package.
Yeah, if you want the full game with all the DLCs, maps, etc., etc.
And then they go for $1 reticles up to 25. No, I don't think it's $25. It's like $14 or some shit. Well, it's $15 to get enough COD points. And then it's like $14 or $13 to actually get a skin pack. You get the skin, you get some camos, you get some gestures, you get some sprays and everything, which is cool. It's actually really nice. But that's still 14 or 15. Well, that's $15,
right?
For one skin. And then you're also spending
extra 110 on top of it, right?
Yeah. Plus, if you want to level up in the battle pass that they have to skip some tiers, you're spending money on that, and it's like they're increasing the time as well for the battle pass. So instead of it being like 40-50 minutes like it used to be, it's now almost 2 hours for one tier.
Okay, now this is the part where I get to step in. Okay, so those are all valid points, and I'll use your 110 price point. Okay, and while yes, even I could admit $1 for essentially a red dot site, that's a bit much. But with those skin packs, they have to take the time to design the gestures, design the skins, map them out to the wide variety of guns that they have, and make it so that those things fit. And then on top of that, they also have to make multiple of those, get those out, distribute those. So sure, I can understand why they would charge $13-14 for it. Okay, and then you also have to think about it like this. At this point in games and game design in the gaming industry in general, it's getting increasingly hard to make a flat $60 game at this point. It's like people, and this is actual like business people and people who study trends in the markets and the economy. By 2020, $60 AAA games are going to be almost extinct essentially, because by then, most AAA titles will be $75 now for a AAA game, because the cost of making games for this new hardware that we have to make them better, to make them up to the standard that we want them, plus the rising costs in today's economy, they're being like pushed to the edges of their budget, which is why even now, like today, we're starting to see more games coming out unfinished. And I'm not excusing some games for coming out unfinished, like in Destiny 2, only to be patched later, but we'll let those.
Okay, Destiny 2, sure, that was an extremely hyped game. They worked on it
we didn't have
after.
Forge launch it for Halo 5. I don't want to fucking hear it.
But you have to admit, for the extra 2
we didn't
months,
have Griffball at launch. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Okay, but for the extra 2 months that they added to make in Forge, Halo 5's Forge is the best Forge we've ever gotten.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But if they had put that extra time in, you know.
Well, no, the game was already delayed twice.
I know.
So they're getting so much hate. So they're like, okay, well, the main game's already finished. We might as well just let that out and let them enjoy it.
Yeah. But either way, so that was my point. That was just a side note. So, but now we're starting to see more and more games come out unfinished or incomplete because of these budgets that they're being forced to work with. And so, like I was saying, not excusing them, but you kind of have to understand why more and more companies are reverting to microtransactions to try and get those couple extra bucks to keep making content. Because at the end of the day, they are a business. They have employees. They have people that need to get paid, people who have families. They need to make sure their employees can get paid what they're due for the work that they're doing. So I understand microtransactions. If you don't want microtransactions, you don't have to get them. If you don't like I don't back microtransactions being used to elevate a game. You shouldn't be able to be better than someone due to microtransactions. That's not what I'm saying. But I understand really expensive cosmetics, and Fortnite's doing the same thing. People just don't complain about it because that's literally all they have. All they have is $10 skins. Like, come on now, guys.
Or spend $100 to max out a battle pass, but you get like
pretty much
5 or 6 skins with that, and a shit ton of other stuff.
Exactly. So I'm fine with games doing microtransactions. I'm fine with that because I understand they're a business. They need to make money. And so if they can provide me with something that I think is cool and that I want to see and that I want to own, I'll fork over that $10, that $15, that $20 for that cool thing to say it is now my own because I like it. However, when businesses like Star Wars Battlefront 2, that's just the biggest one that comes to my mind. I was going to list more, but I don't really know too many more. When they start locking things behind paywalls, like actual physical parts of the game, that's when I start to like disagree with the microtransactions. If it was like cosmetics, like you could go from regular black and white Stormtrooper to Stormtrooper with like the special colors, like those type of things, sure. But when they locked like Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Rey, Luke Skywalker, when they started locking entire parts of the game behind paywall, that's where I had a problem.
Yeah, and I agree with that. If you're locking actual content between the player and a microtransaction, that is really fucked up. Just put that in the game. But there's also a kind of a trend for a certain amount of games, like Halo 5 did this, Anthem is doing this, Battlefield 5 is doing this. You buy the game, spend as much money as you want on the microtransactions to get, let's say, skins or something.
Yeah.
Every single DLC is free. That's actually okay. So yes, I get it's a lot harder to do that. It's more of a risk and reward for you and the company that's actually doing it. But if you're having a decent game and you're saying, okay, so we're gonna make the microtransactions a little bit higher than average, but you guys are getting, let's say, a 4-year or 5-year guaranteed of free DLC and updates, and everything is there for you. Just enjoy the game and play it. That's something I'm actually way up and for that. If all games could eventually or hopefully adapt that and just slightly raise the overall base price and overall tiny bit on the microtransactions, go ahead.
So, yeah, I agree with that too, but there's only one problem with that. From a bit like, I know I keep relating this to a business, but that's just because I'm a more like numerically driven person. I see numbers and statistics and things like that. there gets to a point to when that doesn't become enough. So that's why companies have to start locking things behind paywalls on making these super expensive things, because if they do offer those things, if they do offer like free DLC, which takes them months to make, hours, having people work on that, stress testing, running, designing, redoing, redrawing, all of those things, it becomes really expensive at the end of the day. So that's why I feel like, sure, maybe free DLC if the company's big enough and it can do it and it's making enough off of its microtransactions, like say Fortnite, right? Yeah. Fortnite is able to, in their Save the World mode, they have constant new updates, new cool little side things. I guess you call them mini DLC. They're like timed DLCs, let's call them.
Yeah.
For each season.
Well, also same for the Battle Royale Fortnite. You get an entire map update and like some other seasons are for free, essentially.
That's something that they're doing really well on, because they've set up their business model based off of like their skins, and by designing these cool skins they're getting, and by teaming up with like huge personalities and huge things like Ninja or Tyler Blevins or whatever the fuck his name is.
Or Marvel when they did the whole collab.
Or even that was, or I guess technically Disney, because
Disney, Marvel, still
anyway,
big ass companies.
But because they did that, and that was a great marketing technique. It helped Marvel get out the word even more about Infinity War by having them let Thanos in, but also at the same time allowing Fortnite to access more people of the Marvel community. So it worked both ways, and it was really good.
Yeah,
that's what I like to see from companies, you know. So like at the end of the day, though, if a company can't do free DLC without supercharging people, I understand if they have charged, like if they had paid DLCs, because at the end, you can't have a business running, like giving out handouts, you know, if people aren't buying your microtransactions. Like if, say Fortnite, okay, since we've been using them, since they're doing pretty good for themselves, if people just all of a sudden, all at once, stopped buying skins, emotes, battle passes, all of that, and which is kind of why like now with Apex, they kind of have to try and incentivize some people back, you know, with the free battle pass
10
thing.
10 million concurrent, like, overall players within 3 days.
Apex out here making moves.
Yeah. Congrats
so
to
props to them.
Respawn on that.
Yeah, props to them. I'm so happy they're able to do that. But no, so I understand that. But if Fortnite just all of a sudden nobody bought skins, emotes, anything, just dropped, like all of a sudden, boom, no one, they would have to completely change their business model, because that's where their that's where their flow was coming from. They were getting it from their skins. So we would probably, if that did happen, we would probably see a substantial decrease in content coming out, new content, these new skins, because they won't have the money at that point to keep doing it at the rate they're doing it right now, because of they breaking in hundreds and millions, I have no doubt about that, from their skins, which allows them to have these like weekly, bi-weekly updates that add cool new stuff, those live in-game things, like how they had Marshmello perform a concert in-game. That was ridiculous. All for free.
Yeah.
If they aren't having the income from the skins, they're nowhere. So I understand. At the end of the day, I understand companies charging ridiculous amounts. I can understand that, as long as it's not pay to win. And that's my view on it. We've been on this topic for like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a very heated topic, and it's something that definitely needs to change, because it's going to the wrong direction right now. But it's a topic that everyone, especially us, just needs to talk about and kind of get off our chest, and hopefully someone random will send this to a dev, link him to the timestamp.
The devs see it and they actually like take some of what we're saying to heart, you know, and they see that some of us out here do still support some of the decisions they're making, because we understand why they have to do some of these things.
But then they also talk to the higher ups,
take some of what we say to heart, you know, and understand, okay, some of these things do need to change, you know.
But Yeah, overall, all these games that are coming out, they're good games. They're nice quality games, but
Hmm.
people hate on them because of the publishers, because of the decisions that are in the games.
And
Overall, if you
decisions that
take
have been made. Yeah,
yeah, if you take everything out of the game, they're decent games. It's just the publishers are
exactly.
asses. The
Pretty much.
decisions to put stuff in the game is a dick move. That's what makes people hate a game when it's a game that will actually help save people's lives. That get really deep, but it's true.
Yeah.
So, it,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a lot of companies are
At the
thinking they're
end of the
wrong.
day, it's what they've done before, what they're trying to do now, screwing them over, and why nobody really wants, or they have like a bad rep around them, like EA with Battlefront 2. You know that,
And Battlefield 5 recently.
and Battlefield 5 was rushed. Everyone knew it. They needed something to compete on the market due to the major
Their
flop that
battle
was.
royale mode isn't even in the game, and that was supposed to be part of the day one drop. And it's been out for
It
like
was rushed.
months. It's been out since like December or some shit
Hmm.
or earlier, and it's not even out.
It it was rushed. It was majorly rushed. They needed something after the losses that they took for Battlefront 2.
Yeah, and
So
they wanted to ride the whole like battle royale train, so they said it was
yeah,
going to
the
be in the
wave.
game, and that's what made so many people buy the game. But it's not even in
And
there
nothing.
months later.
Nothing.
But
Oh well.
all right, well,
Shifting on that note from companies that make misguided decisions, let's call it that. Fallout 76, apparently they're bringing out some new stuff and hoping to draw some people back.
yeah,
So, Fallout 76 right now, their 2019 roadmap, they're including raids, Nuka Shine Brewing. So I'm guessing that's like Nuka Cola, how there's the different types that we were introduced in Fallout 4 with the Nuka World expansion.
hmm
And like, so maybe you can make some of those your own, which provide buffs. That's kind of cool. And new story missions as well, because a lot of people said that their story was seriously lacking. And I agree. It really was. There wasn't much to it.
yeah. At
If you could
most,
call it a story, it was a
maybe.
tutorial.
Well, no, like okay, so if you got all the story only lines, maybe 3-4 hours worth.
Pretty much,
But like
pretty
a
much.
baseline Call of Duty will at least last you 4 hours,
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours on the story itself,
Hmm. Plus zombies
and then
and
multiplayer,
multiplayer,
and then battle royale now. So it's like
battle royale, because blackout.
yeah, so that can all add plenty of time. But the story's
Mhm.
always like Black Ops 3's story was amazing, and that was at least what a 5-6
I
hour
I think you and
campaign.
I played through it together, or at least in the same room.
But
It was a really good story. I'll give it that. I liked where they went with it and how they did like the whole technology rising,
yeah,
gain of sentience. I loved that entire storyline.
it didn't really connect with Black Ops 2, but they did bring up
It made sense though, because like Black Ops 2, it was supposed to be that modern day post Cold War feeling.
yeah.
It was supposed to be advanced. I liked that. And then Black Ops 3 was supposed to be jumping even further, and I liked that. I feel like they could have done better by like connecting it to 2 somehow. Like sure there was a little like, oh look,
Little
remember,
nods.
or this.
Yeah.
But no, overall though, I liked it. It was
Yeah.
pretty good.
But that was like a what, 5-6 hour campaign?
Easily.
And
Plus there was nightmare mode as well, which
yeah. And
it was
then
campaign but zombies, which was amazing. I loved that idea.
and this is coming from a company that isn't known for making all their time in a campaign. Bethesda is a company that puts all their
Yeah,
time in campaigns. So
they Bethesda. What do they have under their belt? They've got Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and although a whole lot of people didn't like Fallout 4, I generally liked Fallout 4. I liked it, even though Preston Garvey can get a bit annoying. There's always a settlement that needs saving.
memes.
Story of my life. Story of my life. Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Tamriel, I believe, is also under their belt, or at least under one of their co-affiliates. But just
Yeah.
really make these really good story-driven games. And following in like Elder Scrolls Tamriel Online, they were like, okay, we did really good with this online. Let's try and do that with Fallout. And so in general, as a Fallout game, I like it. But from new content, new ideas, it kind of fell flat.
Yeah, and at least they're adding more in.
They're still working on it. They understand that they messed up, and they're trying to fix it.
And there are rumors that 90% of the company already moved up and left to Elder Scrolls 6, which, granted, it might have happened.
I wouldn't doubt it though, but it would make sense,
But at least they're still trying to
Yeah,
add stuff to it instead of saying fuck it, it's a shit show, no one likes it, everyone's gonna hate it, and
pretty
even though
much.
we promise we're gonna do this like 5-6 year thing for it, it's just not gonna work, so we're gonna leave it. At least they're adding to it and trying to fix all the fucking bugs.
Pretty much.
But
and there are a lot of bugs.
The T-pose is still in there. Day one
most
patch
games
didn't
have a
fix
T-pose. Most games have a T-pose moment, but that's okay. Fallout 76 is just lasting a little bit longer.
a lot longer. The game came out in November.
Pretty much. I'm so glad I canceled my pre-order when I did. Oh my god. But no, so 2019 is looking promising for Fallout 76. They've got a lot going for them. Look, they've got a lot of big plans, so hopefully we can see good things from it.
Yeah, I would hope to see more stuff come out of it because it's a Fallout game. It deserves so much more, and it's just getting shafted strictly because they fucked up and pushed it out way too early.
Pretty much. So, oh well, Fallout 76, they're trying. They're trying.
Yeah.
However, let's jump back in time a little bit to the last Fallout 4. Recently, and because everyone knows Fallout 4, it had a huge modder following behind it. Everyone loved to make mods for it and put their own twist on it. And there's a huge mod that's not huge per se, but it's essentially game-changing what's being added to Fallout 4. It's creating essentially a new mission randomizer that you can get, from assassinations to base capturing to like fetch quests, things like that are going to, you can keep playing through, like even on like my level 200 murdered everyone and now is hated by all wanderer, you can still keep playing because it creates this mission system that you can get them on demand, and you can choose like what faction you want to do it for. And or you can like just wait for them to gradually come to you, because you can set a timer like how often they'll come to you, so that's pretty cool. And it's like, so say you decide to do a base capture for the Minutemen, right? So the Minutemen will then hold that base. That will be a place you can find the Minutemen, and like using the flare gun, if it's close enough, they can help you using that base as one of their base of operations. So not just the little settlements that you've set up, they can then use that place as a base as well until bandits or you using another faction raids that base.
Yeah.
And then same thing with assassinations. So say at the end of the main campaign for Fallout 4, you're friendly with everyone but the Brotherhood of Steel, and you're enemies with the Brotherhood of Steel. But then you start doing assassinations for the Brotherhood of Steel against the others, you can then essentially change your tiding. You can change your tiding with the Brotherhood, so that way you'll be friendly with them, essentially. And then the other ones will start to hate you after you've already finished the main campaign. Yeah, so it's just crazy to see it. I think it's so cool that they're adding that. The game has been out for ever, this game has been out for 4 or 5 years, probably more, and people are still out here trying to add new things and making the game better, and I like that.
Yeah, and isn't the Fallout New Jersey still being in works?
Or you mean Fallout Miami?
Miami, yeah, New Jersey.
Yeah, that is
still in the
New
works?
Jersey. Yeah, it is still in the works, which I think shows a lot, because it shows that they're still sticking with it, and that hopefully we'll get something that rivals Fallout 4.
Or
I would
New
love
Vegas,
to see that,
because that was a mod at first.
Well, because that's what Miami is. It's a mod of Fallout 4.
Well, yeah.
That they're going through, they're modifying like the entire world, adding their own NPCs, new items, new level listings, something completely that you can start the game brand new
and
with a completely different game.
Anyway,
It won't even be Fallout 4 at that point. It'll use many of the same entities, but it won't be Fallout 4. It will be Fallout Miami.
Yeah.
And I just think that's great.
But
But yeah, so Fallout 4 still out here getting massive changes.
yeah, and then also Fallout 76 is at least pushing
They're
through.
getting work done. They're getting work done.
They're pushing through. Who knows if it'll be good content, or how the story
I hope
will
it
get
is.
fixed.
I hope it's good content.
Hopefully this part of the story, like DLC story, will actually have like NPCs that will probably add a good plus to the game.
So we've already pretty much confirmed that NPCs are going to be there because the whole
the dev room stuff.
The dev room, we saw an NPC in there. So
well, they were probably using that strictly for like a replacement for the robots, though, wouldn't you think?
See, so what I hope they do, like in Fallout 4, there were 3 or 4 NPCs that wandered around to different settlements and places you could just see around the world, and you could kill them if you wanted to, but then I never actually tried, so I don't know if they respawned or not. But they were traders, and you could trade things with them. There was one for weapons, one for armor, one for rare junk, and one for, I think there was one other one. I could be wrong though. And so you could get cool, unique weapons off them, but they weren't stuck to one place. They wandered, but they had like a set area where they would wander. Like they had like a path. So if you followed the path, if you ran along their little route, essentially, you could find them. And I thought that was cool. And I really hope that if they do add NPCs into 76, that's what they do.
Yeah.
And on the topic of them like being able to die and whatnot, the way that I think they could get around that is either A, making the NPCs so insanely strong that it's foolish to even try and kill them, or B, maybe make a reference, because this is the same universe as Fallout 4, make a reference to the Institute or even the Enclave, and so maybe it's not the same NPC each time, but these NPCs they'll be renamed and they keep coming back.
Just have like a random loot pool of like, let's say 100 names or some shit.
100 names and like maybe 7 or 8 character models and different trails that they'll all run, and they keep coming back, but you can like trade with them, buy things from them. I think that'd be a really cool. Just I guess change that they could do.
Yeah, to at least add like an actual working, living thing that you can interact with in the game.
Yeah, I think that'd be super cool.
All right.
Although I know we kind of branched off there, but major changes in Fallout universe, and Destiny 2 is also getting some major changes coming in March.
Yeah, Destiny 2's Gambit mode is getting
major changes. Because I think it's the I don't know what we're in now. I think right now we're in the Black Armory DLC is what the latest thing was.
Yes.
So the year of the what's his name? I know they're doing something themed around him, whoever the new guy is. The Gambit guy, that guy.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
So we're getting story about him because at this point it's already essentially been confirmed. He is Cade's replacement. He's the one who lost the Hunter bet, Cade.
Yeah.
So he's the one who will he actually join the Vanguard? I don't know. I doubt it. I think
he might be like that little Outlander thing, like he's there to replace him.
I think he's going to be alluded to all the time that's what he is for, but no one's going to directly confront him because we've seen that like we've seen through like weapons flavor text and his flavor text that, and actually ow, that hurt. Let's see if I have it around here somewhere, because I have the pre-order bonus from Destiny from the whatchamacallit with Prince Aldrin.
Prince Aldrin, the Destiny 2 pre-order bonuses with the cards?
Yeah. Because one of the cards is him. Don't mind me, I'm just opening my deck of cards here. The Drifter, that's what his name is. The Drifter. So, also cards. Thank you. You're welcome.
Jesus.
So the Drifter. Race human, alignment unconfirmed, status unknown, believed to be the errant gunslinger, redacted, as in, so someone purposely took his name out of whatever, like, the books were, who disappeared long ago before the Vanguard's rise. If confronted, do not engage, and upload any observations and reconnaissance to the Vanguard channels. So, we know that this guy, obviously, he's been around for a while, since before the Vanguard, which means before the Battle of the Six Fronts, I think it was. You know, that major battle it's always talked about with the rise of Osiris as a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been around since before that. And so was Cade. So, yeah, apparently this dude's supposed to be super strong. But that's not the point. So it's going to be based around him, you know, that'll be cool.
I actually might re-download it just to play the story on that.
Yeah, pretty much. But, no, so they're, like, changing up certain parts of Gambit, so now, like, they're changing what the, you know how there's the 3 enemies you can send over, the small, the medium, and the large?
Yeah.
So they're changing the small one, so the small one's now a Taken Goblin. And so now it's weaker than what the little shield Flanax, the Taken Flanax, you know? They're weaker, but they can shield other enemies. So now it's like you have to be somewhat tactical in the way you use him, because now let's say you throw in someone who to dump 15 instead of dumping 5 real quick, you know? So that way you can send over a large one, and then someone else can dump the 5 after to send over that tiny goblin, because then he'll start shielding the bigger one, which then makes him stronger.
Okay.
They're making it so you have to be a bit more tactical with how you send them over now.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Alright, well, so for a lot of PC users out there, we all know and love this wonderful thing that also got a lot of controversy with the whole Metro Exodus, Steam. Well, there's some new screenshots out there that are the whole layout change, and it looks clean.
Like, are they updating, like, Steam's general interface?
Yeah, most of the screenshots that were leaked are for like your library, so it's gonna be all like your games and stuff. But it looks clean, so all your games are gonna be on the left like normal. But instead of when you click on a game, it's gonna have like a small play button and a bunch of little stuff. It's gonna be picture the Xbox One like current layout of like the things where it's like press play on the picture and then scroll down a little bit and there's like all big chunks of like news, updates and all that. It's gonna be very similar to that. And it looks very, very nice. It could be biased for me because I'm so used to the Xbox part of that. But overall, no, like, I can't wait for this update to come out.
It would be cool to see something new and different when you open your Steam, because right now Steam is something that I just hate opening and hate going through. It's just, I feel like it's a bit bulky to use. It doesn't necessarily look nice, and
it's all
spaces look empty. Yeah, and it's basically either really cramped or really empty.
Yeah.
There's no, like, oh, this is comfortable, you know? So, no, that's actually something that's pretty cool, actually. So I look forward to seeing that if that does come out.
Hopefully this year. Because obviously Steam, they do take a very long time for major updates. But
that's because they don't need to. They sell games through them.
Well, yeah.
They make plenty of bank without
you do want to make it at least somewhat user-friendly.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's fine. Everything's there. It works nice. But making it cleaner, sharper, more like quote-unquote ergonomic, it'll work better.
So that'll be cool to see if we do see it.
Yeah.
Speaking though of companies and what they're doing, I know this is kind of going to an extreme other side, but apparently Microsoft is developing military tech.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. So right now they're using AR essentially glasses, but it's not like actual glasses. They're taking combat helmets, like military grade combat helmets, and they're integrating a AR visor to it instead of where the normal visor would be. So that way it's essentially to make it easier to kill. So that way it can highlight it's like essentially a heads-up display.
Huh.
Yeah. However, not all of Microsoft is on board with it. And the price tag for this thing, because it's called the HoloLens Army contract, the price tag for it is a bit much. Why don't you take a guess? Take a guess. Take a wild guess.
Well, the HoloLens itself is a couple $1,000s.
Okay, and this is for the entire contract, okay?
Okay. Oh, it's not per.
No. This is the military contract. How much the Army, like the U.S. Army, is going to pay Microsoft, or is paying Microsoft essentially. Throw a number out there.
I'm going in the millions, but it's gonna be like $800 something million.
So 800 million, okay? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
It is $479 million.
Okay, I was way over.
Yeah. No. You were under. You said 80 million.
No, I said 800 something million.
That's fair. But still, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, especially for Microsoft.
Like,
okay, overall, that's not a lot of money for Microsoft.
But
like,
that's a military contract to create essentially a heads-up display for soldiers to make it, and this is what many Microsoft employees are saying, make it easier to kill, and it further separating them from like the bloodiness and the gruesome nature that is war.
So
a lot of people at Microsoft are not happy. They don't do it.
Well, no, hold on. Okay, so back to Call of Duty. Black Ops 2 was right then, because in Black Ops 2, it was the years of 1994 to 2025, and in the futuristic parts, which was like up to 2025, we had our glasses that had like the whole like,
I remember what you're talking about.
Holy fuck! And they were predicting like, okay, so in this game, we were predicting within this time frame.
This is what's going to happen.
Everything in this game might be happening in real life. But the
and technology is going there. It's going to happen. That's crazy.
I know, but when that game came out, the military was already working on, and China showed out in public, the actual drones. Like, we're getting military-grade drones.
And now we're starting to see this heads-up display, essentially. Yeah. But no, so a lot of Microsoft employees, they're like, they're threatening to leave and to just essentially quit, and saying, quote, "We did not sign up to develop weapons," because that's essentially what's happening at this point. This is like their gateway into technological weapon design.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be more than just a home theater gaming,
and
home production stuff.
That's an extreme twist, you know.
That actually,
it's crazy.
That might help them, but that also might hurt them a lot more, because they are getting into a very risky thing. Because let's say they don't develop fast enough, they're gonna get dropped. And what if they're so high up on the money, dropping, let's say, a couple $1 million just flops everything in the Microsoft company.
Yeah, exactly. So once they get into things like weapon development, you have to stay up with it, and that means devoting more time, more money, more resources to it. And then that money has to come from somewhere, because sure, that's a hefty contract, but they're going to want to put more money into it. That's going to get pulled from their other divisions, like their home entertainment, their games, their video development, which means we're going to, if this does become a thing, we're most likely going to see a drop in quality from those things.
For the first parties, at least. Third parties are on their own, but let's say
third parties are on their own. They're sponsored. Yeah, but no, things like Halo.
Gears of War, Forza.
Yeah, that's another one. They're going to start dropping in quality, taking longer to come out, taking longer for updates, because more money will be going to this essentially Microsoft weapons dealer. And it's crazy to think.
Yeah, that is very, very crazy.
Think about it. About 20 years ago, they were in a console war. And they still are, but they were in the beginnings of a console war.
Yeah, and it's just now somewhat finally getting over.
Yeah, now they're moving into weapons.
So we're gonna get into weapon wars. No, screw weapon wars. Legit wars.
Oh, eek.
Hopefully there's not another war. There's just gonna be little battles, but
yeah.
Overall, okay, so I don't want them to really go in with this, because it is getting to a very, very controversial subject with military and everything. But if they do get into it, it is a huge step for Microsoft, because they've always been wanting to push the boundaries of technology. and having their own HoloLens for AR or even parts of VR.
Yeah.
Getting that into the military's hands is huge, but it's also very harmful to themselves if they fuck up with it.
Yeah. I don't know. We will see where this goes.
Yeah.
What do you think, though? Should they keep with it and keep trying to develop it?
Like, go ahead, but try to make a different, like, studio or something for it that have, like, their own heart and, like, everything they want and developed into it, and they actually enjoy doing it. Because, like you already said, a lot of the people are not down to go in for it, and they're probably willing to quit or something. Well, give them the choice. Be like, okay, which department do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the military department? Do you want to be in the home development department? Do you want to be in the gaming department? And kind of guide them and allow them to go through there, because they already have 20-something studios for first-party games. Allow some of those people to transfer like studios or departments if they don't want to be in the whole military thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully they do it like that, but knowing them as a business, they'll force people to, oh, you're really good at coding, so we're pulling you off of this, design this weapon, you know?
Yeah, and that's going to be the downfall, but this is Microsoft we're talking about. They've always given people so much chances or like choices, so hopefully they'll allow people to do their own thing and actually choose where they want to go if they allow them to change department. If not, then Microsoft might take a shit on money, because they're probably going to be having so many people quit or just not want to be involved with that. But overall, it's cool. The HoloLens was a smart idea because it works, but at the same time, it's very, very expensive for a consumer. And then now it's becoming very dangerous.
We will see where that goes.
Yeah. But okay, so last topic of the day or night. Anthem. I know it's a very so it's a controversial topic.
No. Anthem isn't controversial. Anthem.
Yeah, but I love this game, and like I brought up earlier in the podcast, it's one of the games that is a live service. So you pay $60 for the game, and you get every DLC for free, and that's amazing. Obviously, microtransactions. They're $8 per skin, but you get
not
as
bad as Fortnite.
Well, no, but it's $8 for a skin pack.
See, that's even better than Fortnite.
Yes, and you can spend that on the skin packs if you want, which is extremely cool. Obviously controversial, $8 on a skin pack. Yes, sure, it's $8, but you're getting a skin design for all 4 javelins or one in particular, and the price varies, but it's still really, really cool. So they within, I think, the past day or two, released a blog post of their up to date 90-day roadmap, and the legit comment in quotes is lots of work ahead.
Most games these days.
Okay, but this is within 3 months, so we're getting more Elysium Stronghold caches.
Don't know what that means, but okay.
We're getting new items, so gear, weapons. We're getting legendary missions, phase 1. So who knows how many phases there'll be, but phase 1 for legendary missions. We're getting Cortex locked, so we're getting more Cortex, more lore, more items in the game that we will be able to explore and actually like read into the lore and the world of this game. So it's fleshing out more of the game. There will be giants, which I believe there's already something like that somewhere out. It's a quest.
I'm gonna kill a giant. I'm gonna go smack it in the face.
But
I'm gonna go punch it in the face and win.
But there will be giants, so I'm guessing they're adding more titans in the game. Then there's also Outlaw Outrage. We already have an outlaw like faction in the game, and they're actually pretty strong. But I believe they're going to be adding more enemies to that faction, probably fleshing them out a little bit more with some Cortex, Cortex.
Cortex, I don't know what that means.
Okay, so it's basically take Grimoire cards, but put it in Anthem, Cortex.
Okay, makes sense.
And then oh wow, that's actually interesting. There's another Cortex locked. So those are 2 hidden things But yes, Cortex are basically, you go into the Cortex, you go into your journal, yada yada. You can do Grimoire cards in game and learn lore. But so we're getting
Grimoire cards. Hey Destiny, how you been?
Okay, but we're getting like a whole bunch of stuff within the next 3 months. That's not normal updates. That's not including normal updates that they do.
That's just on top
every
of it.
day. Yeah, that's on top of it, and that's only within 3 months. And that's not even, well, that's like Act 1 of Phase 1. There's
Jesus
4
Christ.
acts. Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
There's 4 acts per phase, and at the moment we know of 3 phases.
That is too many. I lost count already.
So take that and then times it by 3, and then times that by 3.
I don't appreciate all this counting, and I'd also appreciate if you did stop.
So within Anthem base game, $60,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting an alright story. A lot of people don't really like it because it's not the full fleshed out like 20-30 hour long stories that Mass Effect have had by BioWare. Like, they're known for that. Well, this is again an online only game. You have to have internet connection, and if you're on Xbox or PSN, you have to have PSN Plus and Xbox Live. But if you're on PC, just download it, play it, and internet connection. So it's not only an online game, it's an online service. So there's always going to be something new in it, and it's an open living world, and they're always adding little things. Like every other week or some shit, they're going to be adding like a little quest for
But have they made their entire world out of snow though?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Fortnite #1. You're welcome.
Okay. Well,
you have to admit that's pretty cool.
They're adding to the world, and they're putting so much into it. So people that don't like the game now, just wait a month or 2 and come back to the game, see how you like it.
I don't want to wait a month. That's too much waiting.
Well, it's the term, if you don't like a game now, come back later and you might like it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's a lot of things. So yes, Anthem, EA, everyone hates it strictly because of that, and BioWare, they're known for massive stories and just all this crazy stuff, and it didn't quite deliver. But it's there, and they're hinting at it, and it's a good thing.
Building more stuff, eventually, it's going to be hard, but you'll like it, and we have 90 days to do it. You're welcome, America. Drops mic, walks away.
And that's only for Act 1 of Phase 1. That's not even Act 2 or 3 or 4.
It's starting to sound a whole lot like the Marvel movie calendar.
Okay, yes, I get that, but it's just the way they called it. Acts 1, 2, 3, phase 1, 2, and 3.
Phase 2, Phase 3, and then end phase or Phase 4.
But yeah, so it's a ton of content coming within the next 3 months.
Cool. I don't play Anthem.
But I do, and I've put almost 15 hours in the game within the past 2 days.
I know, and it's ridiculous. You need to stop.
Hey, at least it's not Halo, where I put almost 2 months into the game within playing it for a month. Just kidding. I put I know. Sir, I put almost 2 months in the game for playing it for about...
Think about what you've said.
Well, I know.
Sit in the corner and think about your mistakes.
Well, no. Okay, so within me playing the game for like the solid year and a half that I did it for my YouTube, I put almost 5 months worth of time in that game alone, on top of playing Destiny 1, on top of playing Call of Duty. Like, I spammed that game, and I played so much of it.
And it was ridiculous.
We all know I can put hella time in a game. I'm willing to put hella... This is true. But I'm willing to put hella time in another franchise if it intrigues me, like Halo did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we officially, I believe, hit our 1 hour mark, and we actually ran out of topics.
Wow, this is actually once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, like actually hitting our 1 hour mark, we ran out of topics, not running out way earlier and spamming out random shit.
Pretty much.
But
well, I mean, we talked about a lot today. Talked about some pretty heated topics like pay to win
Call of Duty stuff. Massive amounts of Fortnite, ironically.
Yeah. I think just because since we played a lot today, we kind of have some of that in our mindset and made us think about what they've done, you know?
Yeah.
And just in general, we were able to use them as a pretty solid reference.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's good. And that's also all I've got time for today. I don't know about you.
Yeah, now I'm probably gonna put this video up and play some Anthem.
I'm done with you. Go home, you're drunk. Fuck, wait, you're already here. Shit. No, I'll probably hop on and play some of that blog post. Might make a video about it, might not. I make no promises. I do need to make another Terraria video. Another. I meant Town of Salem.
You can start Terraria videos.
I totally could.
But alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoyed this episode actually.
Yeah.
This
feel like so I don't know if you guys realize this, but this is once again we collected all of our stuff within I don't know, maybe
a couple
of hours before. Yeah, we did it a bit earlier just because then we hopped on the blog post for a little bit. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's okay. But, like we said, it's poor man CS:GO. We really
but
fucking
it's fun.
enjoy that game.
It's still fun. It's still fun.
It's an amazing
if you don't enjoy the competition of CS:GO, play this game. It's way more fun.
Yeah.
But no, so.
But yeah, so that's just about the end of this episode. Do you have any last thoughts? Anything to say?
No, just look forward to some of these games, seeing where they go with what they do. Look forward to seeing Destiny 2's Gambit, see how they update that, and I look forward to some of these companies getting their heads out their asses and getting on top of it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, so I got nothing else.
Alright, well, shameless plug, our Discord description.
Discord.
Click that link.
And I do plan, though, on pretty soon we're going to actually start recording in the Discord, like in the actual Discord, so you guys will be able to see when we're actually when we're actually recording, so that'll be pretty cool. And then because we'll be there, you guys might get a chance to meet some of the other admins. Because, well, yes, Unsounder and I are two of the admins. There are two others who also admin our page, so maybe they'll pop in on us and talk with us for a little bit.
Yeah, we can possibly see if any of them want to hop in and redo a recording. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. And get them to talk on some of these like big topics that we talk about, you know?
Yeah.
So no, that's something we plan on doing, probably even starting with the next one, so...
Hopefully, if any of them are willing to do it. If not,
if not, we could still just record in there, and then if any of them happen to hop on, pull them in for a couple minutes, get their info on a couple things, and let them go on their way. Yeah, you know, makes it more fun, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, link's going to be in both of our descriptions for the Discord. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Yeah. Also, like always, Future Satire's channel description or channel link will be in the description, so definitely hit him with a sub.
And likewise for Unsounder, if you're watching on my channel.
And obviously Discord in the description. Hit that link and join this community because we're trying to grow it. It's kind of small at the moment, but we are growing it, and it's getting bigger.
It slowly but surely. And, we're growing the community. It's getting bigger by the moment.
But yeah.
For those of you can't out there, that's a dick joke. You're welcome.
Rip. Alright, demonetized, whatever.
I didn't know we were monetized in the first place. I think we talked shit about too many AAA titles in this game.
Yeah, nah, but yeah, so that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. Well, not really video, but podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a video. Until we can get it on to other stuff, it's gonna be a video. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast.
Leave a like on the videos, leave a comment, tell us what you guys thought, give us any ideas for future podcasts.
And smash that subscribe button on both channels. Link in the description.
Bonus points if you break your monitor doing it. If you break your monitor trying to do it, I will 100% buy you a new one eventually. But that's only if you can send me proof that you broke it, because I'll be so proud of whoever did it. At your own risk. At your own risk.
Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed, guys. And as always, Unsounder out.
Bye-bye.